Maybe.
There we go.
There we
We're
go.
live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live with our very first, well, I guess second, from the chair confessionals. This evening, we're joined by Miss Megan Gaines and your host, Nathan Knopf.
How you doing, everybody? And how you doing, Megan?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. So this is primarily going to be about the Special Olympics, although we'll talk about wrestling also. So why don't you start off by telling us about how you got started in Special Olympics and the type of sport you play?
Yeah, so I got started in Special Olympics in 2015. I started out as an athlete. I started out doing track, soccer, and bowling, which is what I currently do now. And then fast forward to COVID when everything went virtual, I took a bunch of the leadership trainings for Special Olympics, became a health messenger, an athlete leader, and then most recently took the ambassador training.
Nice. I also took that training. I think we were in the same class.
Yes, I do remember you from it.
So you mentioned a few sports that you did. What's your favorite, if you have one?
I have to say my favorite is track because my stepmom is my coach, so I have to say that's my favorite.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, doesn't that make it a little interesting though if you have to argue with your coach because technically you're arguing with your stepmom?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's what makes it kind of fun, having her as my coach for track is maybe it's kind of fun arguing with her a little bit because the fact that I feel like I'm arguing with my coach, but then I'm arguing with my stepmom.
Well, that maybe you can get away with it at track where you can't get away with it at your house.
Right? Yeah, no. She wouldn't let me get away with something that other athletes couldn't get away with.
So, we said before we started that you're a WWE fan. What got you started watching that?
Oh, so I don't remember. I started watching it when I was probably like 10, 11, 12. I don't even remember how long ago it was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Host, since you opened the door to that, I've got breaking news for the podcast that we're going to share right here tonight. I was going to be nice and wait till tomorrow when we didn't have a guest, but I'm going to just break it tonight.
Oh, why not? If it's the one I'm thinking of, I've been breaking it all day too. So.
All right. So for you fans, live on our prediction show for WrestleMania, if Mr. Nas does not go a perfect prediction show over both nights, that's right, he has to go perfect both nights. He misses one match to the Mariners game that we go in August. He dresses as a woman, dress, wig, makeup, and all.
Yeah, I know. But I'm pretty confident I can get them all right because WWE has a tendency to be a little predictable, especially if you've watched it for a long time.
Oh, that's true on that one.
And if I'm not, one thing's for sure, I'll definitely be the hottest looking woman in the building. So. The sad thing is I have people at the frontier here that's already volunteering like how they're going to dress me up. And like our co-host on here said she's got a wig that I can wear. And so, Megan, who is your favorite wrestler?
Ooh.
I mean, you have an Alexa Bliss shirt on, so is that?
Yeah, Alexa Bliss is one of my favorites. I have a couple. You might disagree with me on this one. I do like Roman Reigns. Let's see. And then I honestly But my all-time favorite probably had to either be John Cena or The Undertaker.
Very good choices. So I bet you were thrilled when John Cena came back on Monday.
Yes.
And I don't disagree with Roman Reigns. I personally don't care for Roman Reigns that much, but I know
Yeah.
Tony at one point is a huge fan of the Shield. So
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been kind of like not liking his new kind of character being the new most hated person in WWE.
well, the thing is, it's not so much for me that I dislike the character because he's done a wonderful job with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's more that he's held the title for 900 days.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, it's time for you to drop it, right? Like,
Yeah.
you've already beaten everybody on the roster at least maybe 5 or 10 times.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly agree with you on that one. Honestly, too, I feel like they need to at some point they need to make him drop that title and give it to someone else because someone else he can't hold on to the title for obviously his entire career.
Well, hopefully it'll be Cody at WrestleMania because I
Right?
think Cody can take it to a different level. So.
Mm-hmm. I honestly would love to see him though. I doubt it would really happen because this guy's I think he's retired. I might be wrong on this one, so don't quote me. I would love to see him maybe fight The Rock for the title.
It's funny you say that because that was supposed to be the match this year.
Yeah.
But The Rock thought he wasn't in wrestling shape. So now there's a rumor that that's going to be the match next year.
Yeah.
And I already have a built-in storyline for that. They keep calling Roman Reigns the tribal chief, right?
Yes.
But who's to say that's not a big swerve and The Rock's really the tribal chief?
Yeah. See, and that's exactly why I want to see him kind of actually do that because of the fact that even I know that The Rock is technically the tribal chief.
Yeah, well, unless you go with the Wild Samoans, but mostly it's The Rock.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't mind seeing Rikishi come back and get Roman's face over the way he's been treating the Usos.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tony, what's your thoughts on Roman Reigns?
Not my interview.
Wow, you just went to that.
As you can tell, I just produced this show and make sure you look good as a girl.
Well, we all know that's going to happen.
I don't know. I have a tendency to agree with both of you, though. It's time for Roman to lose the title. But as you were also alluding to the Rikishi thing, I think that's going to happen sooner than later also because there are rumors that Rikishi is coming back to manage all three of his boys when Roman goes on said vacation.
Now, my question is for both of you: how long do you think this vacation's going to be? To be a gentleman and to be a good host, I'll let the lady go first.
Absolutely. So what was your question? I was spacing out.
It's all right. How long's do you think Roman's vacation's going to be? Because in wrestling, they vary all the time.
Ooh, his vacation. It's the top of my head. I don't know. I'll just say like maybe like a year or so. Because from what I did hear, that was why there was a rumor too that he wanted to leave to go to spend time with his family member. I believe.
Yeah.
I saw on something on his Facebook or something. But
no, I think you're right. He has 3 daughters, so I think he wants to spend more time with them.
Yeah.
The other reason I asked that was his former Shield partner, John Moxley, used to be Dean Ambrose, is in AEW, and that man's been saying he's going to take a break for, what is it, like 3 months now at least, maybe 4.
Right.
Now, part of that was not his fault that he didn't get a chance to take it, but
Right.
But this also goes to prove something else to you, Nathan. Who really was the better member of the Shield? Yes, Moxley said that he's been taking a vacation, but that man never will. Why? Because he's the best Shield member of all time, hands down.
That is true, and he has called himself the workhorse. Though I mean, maybe he's trying to live up to that reputation. So, Megan, have you ever been to a wrestling show? Like any
I wish. I've always wanted to go to a WWE event just to kind of see what it's like in person.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've been to quite a few of them, including a WrestleMania when it was in Seattle. I know. The WrestleMania thing was like amazing.
Right.
There's nothing like going to a WWE show. My mom's not even a WWE fan or wrestling fan, and she even like going when she went with me once. In fact, in about 4 weeks, well, less than 4 weeks, Tony and I and our co-host on here, who's on assignment today, are going to the SmackDown after WrestleMania.
Oh, nice.
But but you know, Wesley's really the one that makes me jealous, going on the damn Jericho cruise.
I know, right? Yeah, that
is a definite bucket list.
That made me jealous too, because can you imagine being on a cruise full of nothing but pro wrestlers and you get to interact with them every day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's play a what if thing here really quick. We know your 2 favorites, well, 3 if you count John Cena, are Alexa Bliss and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So let's do a what if. What if you met one of them, like right now? What would the conversation be?
I really don't know. That's a great question. I feel like maybe I would just, maybe walk up and ask for an autograph or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I had kind of a brain fart moment when I met one of my heroes. I went to a wrestling show and I got to meet Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But the thing was, I didn't know he was beside me because I had seen everybody that I knew up in Portland.
Right.
And I was in line to get like a souvenir, and somebody kept poking me in the shoulder, and I thought, that's just another friend of mine, so I didn't think anything of it at first. And he did it again, and I looked over and it's Jerry Lawler standing next to me, and my brain completely shut off. All I could say was 3 words. I could say yep, nope, and uh-huh. Luckily, all his questions I could answer with those 3 words. So, Tony, do you have any questions?
Again, Nate, it's your show, man. I just produced this thing. But I will tell you a story. As much as I'm jealous of everybody that gets to meet people, as we know, well, as some of us know, the Seattle had the 2018 games, and WWE were advocates. And Nathan, I've never told you this. I've kept this until now. So, breaking news. Before opening ceremonies, I got to go backstage with Pat.
You talk about the time he met Mark Henry and
Stephanie McMahon, and Charlotte Flair.
Holy cow. Okay, now I'm jealous for another nature.
I
think
I can keep surprises from you, but I mean, it's yeah.
I think
But no,
Go ahead. Sorry. The only time that happened to me was when I went to Fat Access for WrestleMania.
Yeah, except you still had to pay for your autographs, right? I got mine for free.
I didn't have to pay for them. I tried, but they wouldn't take my money. That's kind of where the disability came in handy, because I literally had the money in my hand, and they were like, no, just keep it, which really pissed off everybody else behind me that had to pay. So Megan, have you ever known anybody that wanted to get into wrestling?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, let's go back to the Special Olympics. What are like 3 things that you would tell somebody about the Special Olympics if they wanted to get involved with a sport or the leadership?
Yeah. That's a good question, because I tell people this all the time. Because so many people, they tell me they ask me they tell me that they want to join Special Olympics, and I will then kind of give them kind of my spiel on everything, on how amazing Special Olympics is, and how you can get involved in leadership, and it's not just sports and all that.
Yeah,
and I tell them about how great it is to make friends, not just from your local area, but from around Washington State.
Yeah, well, I mean, you and I are a perfect example of that. You live in Walla Walla, and I live in Longview, so I mean that's quite a ways, apart from each other. So.
Yeah, and I know some other athletes from that area too. I think Stanley lives in the area. Help me out, Anthony. Yes.
Oh, believe me, everybody knows Stanley.
Good old Stanley. But she's forgetting somebody else. She also knows another mutual friend of ours, Miss Alyssa.
Oh, Alyssa, I forgot about Alyssa.
Alyssa, don't be mad at her for forgetting your name now, because
I forgot that she was in the same area as you guys.
I don't think it's Alyssa we have to worry about being upset. It's probably Shane for Megan missing that one big time.
That's a valid point. So, you said you're in track. That's coming up pretty soon, right? You guys' practices.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the events that you do in track?
Yeah, so I did a 100-meter run, 200-meter dash, softball, and then softball throw, and then I did a 4x100 relay.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever had your name put in one of those hats for the USA games? Or?
We did have for Walla Walla. We did have a first set of athletes ever go to USA Games in Orlando. My boyfriend Craig actually. So I actually went to go with my stepmom to Orlando this year to actually go kind of watch him compete. So it was cool. To experience it. I wish I was an athlete, but it's still cool to watch other athletes have fun and compete and all that, and watch him at the time of his life.
Absolutely. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tony. Wasn't that the one that we watched on TV where the Undertaker was there? Wasn't that this?
Yes, the Undertaker was there, from what I've heard. Don't think my boyfriend I've ever met him there, because I asked him. He said he didn't remember seeing him, but
yeah, we got Mark Henry, Charlotte Flair, and Stephanie McMahon in Florida got fucking Taker.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like much of a trade-off, does it?
Just because Taker's my favorite, they just had to spite me, and 4 years later take him down to Florida, right? Yeah. Love you, WWE, but thank you, Vince McMahon.
you want to see somebody freak out. If we ever get the Undertaker on this podcast, Tony would probably melt out of that chair.
So many questions, I mean, so many questions for him, Like, if I paid you, how much would it take you to come to Longview and chokeslam Nathan out of his bed?
I would actually be okay with that, just to say you got chokeslammed by the Undertaker. Of course, I might have to say it from a hospital bed, but you know what? Oh well.
But yeah.
And for the first time yesterday, we went to a dance for the Good Times program down here at the YMCA, and the guy that leads the program. And thank you, Tony, for not telling me about this ahead of time, because I know you saw him. Hit the back of my chair with a steel chair as he was walking by. So I guess now I can legitimately say I've been hit with a steel chair. So, what are some of the things that you personally gotten out of like leadership specifically?
Oh yeah. So what I've gotten out leadership specifically is, for the mostly just probably upping my confidence and being able to talk more. I used to be very shy to the point that I wouldn't talk to anyone, and it was like when I took the leadership training, it basically completely changed me. And even Leah, who was in charge, obviously the leadership trainings and stuff like that, she's even shocked because she actually was my soccer coach a couple of years back in Walla Walla. And so she was shocked to see me kind of grow into this person that was like becoming a leader and like advocating for the athletes.
Yeah, I kind of have the same thing. I've always been a confident person, but
right.
Because of some things that had happened, I kind of lost my voice, kind of like Michael lost his smile.
Yeah.
And like my confidence to talk, and be a leader again. So Leah was really big on helping me, and Tony was really big on helping me get that back.
Right.
Yeah, I understand why Leah left, but I was a little bummed out when she made that.
I know. I was that too. I was like, no, not Leah.
Well, I mean, you guys got to remember. I mean, I don't know. Neither one of you guys remembered Shara, who started the actual leadership program. I've lost two good ones. Shara was the first one. Leah was her replacement. Mm-hmm. Now they got to find a way to fill both of their shoes, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it.
Well, I don't know if they'll be able to do it up to the level that Leah did it. Leah
was like, I think everyone loved Leah. I will admit that.
Yeah, Leah was phenomenal. At least I got to meet her at fall games before she left in person. So, I mean, at least I got to meet her in person before she left.
And to be fair, the first two meetings, Madison has done a pretty good job, although somebody else did it last month.
Well, I mean, to be honest, Madison did actually start the entire leadership program way back when. So she kind of knows what she's doing. But, no, I mean, since leadership, I've seen, I can personally say I've seen most people on leadership that have been shy and timid grow into the leaders that they are today. Megan's a prime example. I remember that DJ Shane on stage fiasco speaking to the spring games athletes. That was a couple of years ago. Today, if she did it again, she'd probably nail it because I've actually seen her firsthand actually lead a leadership training.
Nice.
only because I co-host, I co-lit it with her, which is awesome. You know. So.
Oh yeah, you're talking about when I did help clean up on stage last year with Shane for the Spring Games. Yeah, that was that was a good thing I was able to go because I almost was not able to go. Interesting fact, I actually ended up being one of the athletes that got COVID actually after I came back from Orlando. And I was still able to go to state, thank God, because I ended up being better within 5 days somehow. But
wow, you lucked out on that one.
oh yeah, I remember that whole week I was so worried. I was like, am I going to be able to stay? Am I going to be able to stay? And then my stepmom, she was worried that I was going to give it to her, and then her whole team would have been able to go to state because she's a coach. So if she would have got it, no one would have been able to go. But shockingly, somehow she never got it from me, even though I was sitting next to her on the plane. I should have begged to move it because I don't even know when I even actually had it. I just started showing symptoms like the day we left, I started showing symptoms, but.
But yeah, I mean, and then Nathan, man, I mean, I wished, you know, he's got great confidence and everything, and now, you know, there's times I wish that he just has a mute button or an off button because the man doesn't shut up.
I don't. That's a valid point. It's like winding up one of those Energizer bunnies you see with the little drum.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, back to your interview, Nathan. Go ahead.
So here's what I remember, other than what we learned about the leadership during the leadership training or the ambassador training. Was you remember the picture they took after we all got done?
Yeah.
I take a lot of pride in that picture, but I also laugh at it because you guys are all standing in the back, and I'm the one in the computer that looks like just like this little head that's like floating around.
Right.
The other thing that Leah did to me, which I'll never forget, is she told me that we were going to do the ambassador training over Zoom, but she didn't tell me that I'd be on the big screen that you guys were looking at when we weren't doing anything on the thing. So like all of a sudden I'm looking at myself on the screen going, damn, I wish I would have combed my hair a little bit better now. So if you had a dream opponent for Roman Reigns or Alexa Bliss, who would they be?
Well, for Roman Reigns, like I was saying earlier, probably The Rock. For Alexa Bliss, that's a great question. Top of my head, I can't think of anything for Alexa Bliss. Maybe like Charlotte Flair. I don't know.
Ooh, good choice. I don't think they've ever wrestled each other.
Right.
At least not one-on-one.
Yeah.
All right, so let's stay with Alexa. Which character have you liked the most from her?
I probably liked the one when she was kind of involved with the feud or I can't think of his name now. I know his name.
The Fiend, Bray Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt, yes.
Yeah, I kind of like that one myself.
And the only reason why is because I felt like it gave off a Harley Quinn vibe, which I love Harley Quinn. So I was like, yes, I'm all for this kid.
That was the exact same vibe I was getting. The only thing she was missing was the outfit.
Mm-hmm. And supposedly that was what WWE's intention actually was for Wyatt was to create that character. And supposedly, actually, like after a while, when she changed the character, the reason why she changed her character is because she actually argued with WWE that she was tired of being that saying that she was tired of being the Harley Quinn type of person or whatever.
Yeah, and apparently now she's gone full circle because now she wants to bring it back. You know, with the whole Uncle Howdy thing.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that happening again now that they brought Bray Wyatt back, but
Yeah, well, Tony and I talk about this a lot. Do you know who the rumor is that Uncle Howdy is? Or who Uncle Howdy is?
Nope.
It's supposedly Bray Wyatt's or Bray's brother Bo Dallas.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
But the other one I thought it might be is Eric Young. You know, the guy that used to be Insanity and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Do you play the WWE 2K games, Nathan?
Yes, I do. In fact, I have 2K23.
Same. I bought that one too. So excited in a few days to be able to try it out. I am excited that they brought in, honestly, the John Cena fiction thing like they did for Rey Mysterio and the 22 game. I'm kind of excited that they're doing that, the John Cena this time around. Because even though I like Rey Mysterio, so I thought his was cool, but since John Cena is one of my favorites, I was like, ooh, that should be interesting to.
Yeah, especially because they bring that. From what I understand, they brought in like his beginning character, even before he was in WWE, when he was the prototype.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Supposedly and they brought in the Roman Reigns in the new game. Actually, will have supposedly he will actually have both belts this time instead of just one, which is kind of cool because I guess I know a lot of people were saying that they wanted that to happen, and that be carrying both belts in the new game, but.
Yeah, that's kind of funny though. They're finally giving him the two belts right when he's supposed to lose them.
Right.
But I've also heard when he comes back from his vacation, he's gonna maybe go back to being the big dog Roman Reigns. You know, like he did when he was the fan favorite.
Yeah. So yeah, I honestly liked him better when he was that. I just don't like his new character now because he can't flip and win a match without having his cousins fight interfering.
Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Well, that's supposed to be Roman's first feud, by the way, is Jay.
Ooh, interesting. Well, I wonder how they're going to play that one off, though, now that Jay's back in the bloodline. Unless both the Usos turn on him at WrestleMania, and that's how he loses.
I honestly thought Sami Zayn and Jay, I thought they would actually team up actually after the bloodline kind of broke up, and then Jay kind of disappeared for a couple of weeks, and then he showed up. I actually thought he was actually going to team up and actually protect Sami for a second, but then he ended up not doing that. But it was kind of odd because if you didn't watch that night, I remember it. It was almost like they tried to pull off kind of what Sami did to Roman Reigns, but the complete opposite.
Yeah,
with, like, the whole and the back of the head, whatever. But
yeah, and the thing I liked the way they did the turn on Sami because it reminded me of like Shawn Michaels,
right,
a lot.
mm-hmm.
The one thing I didn't like about when Roman Reigns turned on Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble was how long it took for him to hit him with the damn steel chair.
Right.
Like literally, we were sitting here on the podcast watching it, and we were all yelling at the TV, "Please, just hit him with the chair already. We all know what's gonna happen."
Mm-hmm.
So, have you heard who they might have beat the Usos?
I have not. Unless maybe I saw something. Maybe it was something on social media recently that I missed. But
it's supposedly supposed to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me with them being like best friends. I think even outside WWE, but
yeah. So you brought up Rey Mysterio a few minutes ago. What did you think on Friday if you watched it about him being in the first inductee into the Hall of Fame?
I think it's cool. Yeah. I do think it's cool. I'm not sure how much I like the whole storyline with him and Dominic though, but I mean, it's an alright storyline, but I'm kind of like, not totally loving the storyline. But
No, I'm with you because I don't mind the storyline and the fact that, that I don't mind Dominic kind of doing his own thing.
right.
But there's two things that I didn't like. One, the man's never been in prison, so this whole thing that he did hard time is really stupid because all he did was spend like an hour in a county jail. And the fact that he brought up Eddie Guerrero and said last Friday that he should have been Eddie's son, that was a little bit too far for me.
Yeah.
So
there was one person from WWE who's a female who I absolutely hate. Top of my head, I cannot think of her name because I don't think she's still on WWE. I just can't think of her name. She used to do that ding dong hello thing between her.
Bailey.
I hate her so much. She's so annoying. I feel like it's almost like another Becky Guerrero, who was the most annoying person ever.
Especially with that boy.
Yeah. Excuse me. What?
Well, I think Tony actually saw her at an AEW show, correct?
I think she is in AEW now, Becky Guerrero.
Actually, yes. As we were going to AEW in January. Sorry again, Nathan, that you couldn't go. Damn COVID got you. But
I know
the show must go on. So yes, I've spoiled myself this year. I've gotten to go to a AEW show, and of course, I get to go to a WWE show too. So I've really spoiled myself this year. But Nathan, you could have been just as spoiled, but COVID got you. Oh well. But anyways, that story there. As we were walking through the door, I took Pat with me. Yes, another person you probably know, Pat Holt. But anyways, he looked over my shoulder and he goes, "Tony, isn't that Vicky?" I go, "Nah, you're just seeing things. The stars aren't going to be out in the crowd meeting people in the very beginning." Mm-hmm. I looked over my shoulder and sure shit, it was Vicky Guerrero standing there. She was promoting AEW heels at the time. So I didn't approach her because she was doing the AEW heel thing. She was trying to empower the women. Well, Pat, man, he gets the confidence to storm right over there and talk to her. And yeah. But yes, I've gotten to see Vicky Guerrero up close and personal, and tell her how much Eddie meant to me. She took time out to talk to us for a minute, but I didn't make it about her. I made it about Eddie just because I can't stand her voice. But
that was going to be my next statement. She didn't scream "excuse me" at you, did she?
No.
Because that would have been funny, but like, "Excuse me," and Tony would have been like, "I didn't do anything." So when you watch wrestling, do you watch it by yourself, or does your stepmom watch it with you, or?
No, my boyfriend watches it. Sometimes I'll watch it with him. Sometimes I'll watch it by myself. That's just because he always gives me, because we like, he likes different people than he doesn't like the same people I like. Like, he cannot stand like The Undertaker. I have no clue how you can't like The Undertaker. I mean, he's a flipping legend, but yeah.
So I can see why that would be annoying, because I'm trying to figure out why he doesn't like The Undertaker. But.
I mean, it could be because the fact he doesn't like that he doesn't, that he won, that he was almost undefeated at WrestleMania every single year. But I think that's what's cool about him, is he was like that guy that would only come after he retired, after like after he became the Dead Man character. It was like he was that person that would just show up at WrestleMania, and that was it.
Yeah. I think that the Undertaker is probably going to be like a manager at one point. I can really see him.
Yeah.
Like if they get another like tall 7-footer or something that you know. So what was when you like won your first gold medal? What was the feeling that you had?
The feeling I had probably happy.
So since you're a big Alexa Bliss fan, I'm taking it you know like who she's married to, right?
I should know. I think I've looked. And now I'm looking into Google this. He's in WWE, right? Or is he an actor?
No, I'll give you this part. He's a musician.
It's okay to Google. Trust me. We use Google all the time.
Yep.
Ryan Cabrera. I have no clue who that is. So no wonder I didn't even know. Man, you should have made a musician. But I just couldn't. I don't think I've ever heard of that guy.
No, they actually met because Ryan Cabrera is the Miz's best friend. So.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, and the most interesting thing is like Alexa's engaged to or married now to Ryan Cabrera, and her former fiance is engaged to Rhea Ripley.
Right.
So, so do you think Rhea Ripley's gonna beat Charlotte Flair?
It's I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm gonna probably say no because I just don't like Rhea Ripley, really. So
Nathan does.
Yeah, I do, and there's a lot of people at the Frontier do. I think she will beat Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Just because I think WWE wants to create more intrigue than that, and if they have Rhea Ripley win with Rhea Ripley being like on Raw, then they're gonna have to do another one of those things where they switch the belts again, or at least switch Rhea over to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's just like a tough one to kind of figure out because I'm not a huge fan of either. Like, I like Charlotte. She's all right, but what I hate to say is she definitely just got into WWE because of her father. So
that's not completely wrong.
I'll go on. Here, I'll go on record, Nathan. I'll say that match is the one that makes you wear the dress to the Mariners game.
So you think I'm going to pick Rhea Ripley and Charlotte's going to win it?
Yep.
Interesting. Honestly, I didn't think that would be the one that would trip me up.
Is either going to be that one? Is actually going to be that one or the Asuka Belair match?
No, I'm pretty confident on that one too. I think the one that's going to trip me up that I'm a little on the fence about is the 6-woman tag with Lita, Trish, and Becky Lynch versus Damage Control. Because I agree with you, Megan. I can't stand Bayley, especially this ding dong ditch thing that she's doing now.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, I don't think her new kid. I don't think she does it as much. For a while, she was doing it. Like I feel like every single time she was on TV. But other than that, I don't think I feel like maybe her character might have changed just a tad bit, maybe, but it's hard to tell.
Well, I like the old Bailey when she was the hugger from like NXT,
Yeah, when she was with Sasha Banks, is that who it was?
Yeah.
He was best friends with her. Yeah, I honestly liked her probably then too.
But now Sasha's in Japan, going by Frankie. Or not Frankie. I was thinking about somebody else. Mercedes Monday. I was thinking about Taya Valkyrie because she's supposed to make her debut on Wednesday.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I would love to see. I know this would never happen. I would love to see Roman Reigns go up against Brock Lesnar. Well, not Brock Lesnar. Whoever his manager is.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman, yes. Yeah, that would never happen.
That would be interesting, but two things would have to happen. Paul Heyman would have to have a very, very, very strict life insurance policy premium. And two, I hope to God he's wearing dark pants.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's just because I don't like Paul Heyman, really.
Paul Heyman, I have a mixed bag. I like his creative mind, the way he can come up with things. But I hate this whole that's a spoiler thing, that little tagline that he uses.
Yeah.
I'm surprised though that they haven't brought Alexa Bliss back to have her do something at WrestleMania.
All right. Do you think because now that Mr. McMahon is gone and Triple H is in charge, do you think that will actually completely change WWE?
I think it's already started a little bit, but the problem is that Vince is kind of back. He said that all he wants to come back for is to sell the company.
Right.
Because they're in the process of trying to do that. But I've been hearing rumors that Triple H still goes to him to get advice on storylines and stuff. But if Triple H just stays by himself, yes, I think WWE is going to be very successful, and they are going to change quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I think the reason is because Triple H still understands what wrestling fans like you and I and Tony like.
Yeah.
Where Vince McMahon had completely lost that.
Yeah, and like WWE, they honestly now they have like competition now. They have AEW now that is another competition, and then they have NXT isn't even really competition because it's still WWE. But
thank you for saying that. I get that argument so much with people that say NXT is its own standalone brand, and I'm like, no, but it's still under the WWE umbrella, so technically it's still WWE.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if WWE ever went out of business, that would be wise because not NXT, but because of AEW.
Yeah. AEW, I think, has probably the best chance to put WWE out of business, but they're going to need some more investors first to even get.
Yeah.
But it is refreshing, Tony, to have somebody on the podcast that agrees about AEW with us.
Yeah.
The last person we had on here, which was Matt Gravett, he does not like AEW for nothing. So, like, whenever, like, the last when we were talking to him about AEW, it was like, oh, they're not a good promotion. They have too many people on the roster. That kind of stuff. So it's kind of refreshing to have somebody that, sees AEW for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, because you could if I watched one episode of it one time, I was like, okay, you can definitely tell that they are definitely trying to top WWE because they don't. For one, for most reasons. One, they don't flip it. They don't make it obvious on every single skit. They don't make it obvious that it's fake.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like, for instance, like when Roman Reigns supposedly had COVID, what was it, last SummerSlam, something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And he came back 3 days later and was like as if he was completely fine. It's like, really? There's no
Yeah.
way.
Well, yeah, because anybody knows, like, by that time it was still the 10 days or 15 days or whatever it was
Yeah,
before.
so even I was like, "You're kidding me, right?" Like, I was like, "You're making this obvious now that you just basically told him to stay home for 3 days."
Yeah. And I think the difference with Tony Khan, that's the guy that runs AEW, is he's a wrestling fan first. He's already got on record as saying that.
Yeah.
So you said you played the WWE 2K games. Do you ever rate yourself on those games in like the career mode or whatever?
I do the career mode. Yeah, like like the one where you on 222 where you created a character and then you kind of like it was kind of like a storyline based on what your character was, kind of. Is that
Yeah,
what you think?
like the
Yeah,
My Rise mode and stuff.
yeah. Where you create
Yeah.
like the character. Yeah. I did that on 22 because I honestly have always liked that because it's kind of cool because it's like you're creating a character and then you get to choose kind of that whole kind of how your character will go throughout its career. But
So do you have a special name for your character on 2K22, or do you just go with your real name?
um, it really depends. I do have one named Megan. Funny story. I actually created her actually to kind of look like Alexa Bliss. It was kind of a complete fail, but I tried to make it look like her. And then I don't know. I can't. The other two were just random names I thought of that were males.
Nice. I created one that's called my nickname is Nostorius, which some friends gave me. So
Mhm.
I actually have one that's called the Crippled Messiah, and I play like kind of like a Bray Wyatt type character
Right.
with a little bit of like the Undertaker sprinkled in.
Yeah. You know who I've missed so much on WWE? That's sad because I could see them never returning. Nikki and Brie, the twins.
Actually, they were close to returning at Raw 30, but they didn't like the way the story was
Oh,
written
that
up.
is right. They will.
In fact, they were at the last AEW pay per view. They were backstage at AEW.
Yeah. Yeah, but they don't rest anymore, don't they? Because they had one of them had like health issues or something that they couldn't rest anymore.
Yeah, Nikki has a really bad neck.
Yeah.
Uh, she they said they want to come back and go after the women's tag titles, but I don't know if Vince or if Triple H will let her do that with her neck.
Right.
And as far as like them being in AEW, that's not a big thing considering that Bree's married to Brian Danielson. So
Hmm. Do you remember the Big Show? Well,
yes,
obviously. Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to him. I wonder if he retire or something?
actually, he's in AEW under his real
Yes.
name. Yep, he does commentary for their YouTube show, AEW Dark Elevation.
Oh, interesting.
But he does it under his real name, Paul White.
Yeah.
It's one big commentator.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually met him.
Is Mark Henry on AEW?
Yes, he does
Yes.
the interviews right before the main events on Rampage.
Yeah. Yeah, but he doesn't rest anymore, right? He just is kind of like backstage.
Right.
Yeah.
Although I've heard that he wants to wrestle, he just hasn't decided if he's gonna do it or not.
Yeah. I like Mark Henry too, but
I
I
did
just saw
too.
it was cool because he was kind of more like original because he was like he was like another Big Show that bit and like kind of like the giant of everyone. But
Yeah, I was surprised when remember in the old WWF or the WWE when they had him and Big Show team up.
all right,
I was surprised. I was surprised they didn't give them the tag team titles.
right.
But I've actually got to meet the Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
Nice guy, but he scared the crap out of me because when I went to shake his hand, it went up to my forearm. And like all I could think about was if I don't say the right thing to the Big Show, he's gonna pick me up wheelchair and all and throw me to the other side of this convention center.
Mm-hmm.
So Tony, do you play any of the WWE 2K games?
I do, and I'm waiting for the new one to come out because all I'm going to do is be playing war games.
Okay, same question. Have you created any characters on there that for like
I actually created 2 characters last year. One was me and one was you, just so I could beat the hell out of you.
I knew that was gonna come out of your mouth.
And for those of you that don't realize this, I have played the nice guy with Nathan for many podcasts now, and I haven't gotten to do my heel persona on him for a while. So the last 2 podcasts, I went nothing but heel on him.
Yes,
so
yes.
But it's out of love and respect because he used to have a former co-host that went heel on him all the time that scared him to death.
Oh yeah, he did. So you want to hear something cool though? Our first big interview. Do you remember the tag team heavy machinery with Otis and his partner Tucker?
Mm-hmm.
We got to interview Tucker.
Oh wow!
From Heavy Machinery.
Oh yes, I did hear about that because I remember Leah was talking about that a while back. But
yeah, in fact, you can find that still on YouTube if anybody wants to check it out. But he was an awesome interview.
Now get it right, Nos. It's Otis.
Oh, I'm sorry, Otis. Oh, come on. You know all they're doing is going to turn on him to try to make male maximum models. Which, by the way, is the dumbest name for a tag team I've ever heard of in my life. I mean, seriously. Why would you take a guy and call him Bad Slaw and, you know, guys like that? Now, I liked their manager when she was with LA Knight in NXT. But I love the fact also that Max Dufresne got rid of the Dufresne thing in his name because that was just annoying.
Well, hey, he'll always be Eli Drake to me.
So, how do you think they're going to work out this whole thing with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre from last night?
From last night? Is that what you said?
You mean from Friday night, right, Nos?
Sorry, Friday night.
I was going to say Saturday.
Sorry, I'm a day behind myself.
Because I don't think I actually watched it on Friday because I had something to do.
Yeah, I didn't watch Friday either.
So Friday they had a fatal 5-way for the number 1 contendership for the tag team titles, or for the number 1 contendership for the Intercontinental title, and both Sheamus and Drew McIntyre got simultaneous pins.
Oh wow!
So now next week, which would be Friday, Sheamus and McIntyre are going to fight each other. and then whoever wins will be the number one contender. But the rumor I've been hearing is that it's going to be a triple threat where it'll be Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther.
Right. So if you could have, what is one person you do not like from WWE?
The Miz.
I feel like that's a common one.
But the Miz is funny to me because I love him on his show. You know, like Miz and Mrs. But when he plays this character in WWE, he drives me nuts.
You know what character I hated of him, and thank God that they changed his character since then. When he was that pretty boy character that had that that personality, like he would like freak out if he got hit in the face.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, I was like, dude, you're in flipping WWE. Are you stupid?
Back when he was acting, his moneymaker.
Yeah. Another person I can't stand, just because, again, they annoy the hell out of me, is actually in NXT, and that's Grayson Waller.
Nice. Oh yeah. See, I wouldn't know who that is because I watched some NXT, but I'm huge familiar with it. I should be because most of those people would probably go on to WWE, but.
And as much as this is going to be a weird one, and I might get a look for this one, I don't like MVP's character right now.
MVP stirs in WWE? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he manages Omos, the big tall guy that used to be with Shane McMahon in the Raw Underground.
That is MVP. See, I asked my boyfriend that the other day. I was like, is that MVP? And he goes, no. He's like, I don't know. I was like, it literally looks like MVP, but I can't tell if that's who it is.
Yep, that's MVP.
Oh, so then I guess I knew that. Just does he still go by MVP though? Or is his name different? Really?
Nope, he still goes by MVP.
How did I not know that before? But maybe I just never paid attention to the name.
They don't mention him very much. They talk about Omos and.
Oh, that's probably why. They probably don't maybe say his name very much. So then I didn't realize that that's who it was. But
exactly.
I was like, it looks like. I was like, why does that guy look so? I asked my boyfriend. I was like, is that MVP? And he goes, I don't know who's MVP. I was like, you don't know who MVP is?
Oh, come on. His best rivalry was with Matt Hardy.
Yeah. Didn't Matt Hardy, isn't he? Oh, he's no longer wrestling, isn't he? Matt Hardy?
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Jeff Hardy. I'm thinking of Jeff.
Well, Jack Swagger and Matt Hardy both wrestle in AEW.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'm thinking of Jeff, whatever his name, Hardy or whatever his name is.
He still wrestles. He wrestles in AEW too, although he's been in some legal trouble lately. So that just got finished.
Yeah, I thought he actually kind of got kicked out of AEW because of that. Because I thought there was another incident. Because I know there was that one incident that he got fired from WWE, that he got kicked from WWE, and then he went to AEW. But I thought he got kicked again because of. He had another incident, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, he got sent to rehab. And then Tony Khan said that this is his one and only time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tony's kind of like the Hardy Boy, like expert on this podcast. So.
You better be careful, not. I will delete you.
So, what was your thoughts on
delete. Delete.
What was your thoughts on Paige when she was in WWE?
I honestly liked her. I thought she had potential. I was kind of disappointed, honestly, when she left, but.
Did you know she's wrestling again?
Let me guess, AEW.
Yep.
God, see, I should be watching AEW. That's what everyone's flipping going.
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone's leaving WWE, and it's like, oh, I'm going to AEW. It's the better show, probably.
Right now, she's teamed up with 2 other people that used to be in WWE.
Ah,
She's teamed up with Toni Storm, the one that got the pie thrown at her face by Charlotte Flair,
yeah,
and Ruby Soho from the Riot Squad.
yeah. Yeah, my whole Xbox crew, they keep telling me that I need to be watching AEW because of the fact that they say that everyone's leaving WWE. And I didn't even realize that until I looked it up. I was like, oh, wait, people are leaving WWE and going to AEW.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many people, because there's been so many people that have gone over from.
Yeah. Fun fact, that's actually how I met Stanley. It was from the Xbox crew, but that's a different story.
I'm sure that was interesting.
Meeting Stanley is always interesting.
You know what? Tony and I and Tony's wife blame Stanley for any time we get snow.
Yeah.
Primarily
Oh yeah, he always because we have a Facebook group chat for the Xbox group. When he says snow, I'm always like, Stanley, die. He'd be like, what? I'm like, I do not want snow. So shut up.
Yeah, that's pretty much the consensus that we tell Stanley too when he says snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, except he gets to learn from it firsthand this time. You know, he gets to make up 4 days of work because he works at the school district, and they canceled school for 4 days when I actually got to work those 4 days that he was out of school. So
the snow came back to bite him this time.
So finally, karma got him finally. So you know, he doesn't say he likes snow very much anymore.
So, do you think John Cena's gonna beat Austin Theory?
I don't know. That's a tough one because I honestly like both. I would say probably no, just because as much as I like John Cena, he's just probably isn't good. He isn't really as good as he used to be, I feel like. But
it's an interesting take. I think he's gonna win it because, as Tony has told me a couple of times, and does the research for this podcast on certain things. John Cena's 1 win away from tying Ric Flair for a number of United States championships.
Mm-hmm. So wasn't he most recently, John Cena? He was supposed to fight Roman Reigns like a couple months back, wasn't he? Or something like that. It was like right when John Cena came back after a couple of months or something. He was going to team up with what's his face,
Kevin Owens.
To face him, but
yeah, they actually had that match on SmackDown.
They did?
Yeah.
Yeah, the end of the year SmackDown.
Oh, that was that long ago. Never mind.
Yeah. Because it was John Cena and Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I don't think though that John Cena's gonna hold it very long.
Yeah.
Even if he gets the United States title, mainly because he's so busy in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, he never shows up to WWE. I feel like he only shows up for he'll show up randomly. I feel like every couple of months because he's gotten so much into acting. But
yeah. So what's your favorite John Cena movie?
Favorite John Cena movie? Don't I have to look that up because I'm trying to think of movies that have him in it.
While you're looking that up, you remember who you guys brought up? You guys brought up Alyssa, right? She just sent us a comment and a question in the chat for StreamYard that she wants to know what's up with everybody.
Hi, Alyssa.
So, I think my favorite John Cena movie so far was the last Fast and the Furious movie.
No, he was in that movie, wasn't he? Yeah. See, that one's a tough one because he replaced what? Because he replaced Paul Walker. I feel like so that one was a tough one for me to enjoy him in that movie because of the fact that I had liked Paul Walker in that movie in those movies so much. But
yeah, I'm with you on that one. I liked Paul Walker in those movies too.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the Suicide Squad, even though I didn't even know he was even in that movie.
That was a good one, and that one actually got him his own spin-off TV series on HBO Max.
The Suicide Squad or something? Like a Suicide Squad spinoff on HBO Max?
It's called Peacemaker.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even know he was in Suicide Squad actually, but was he maybe just in like maybe a scene or two?
No, I think he was in quite a bit of the movie actually.
Really? Maybe he is, and I just don't remember. But
and now we have Dakota in the chat also. So this is actually you're part of it first. This is the first time we've actually had people in the chat on the StreamYard. So
nice.
kind of threw me off for a second. I wasn't used to seeing somebody in the right-hand corner.
And again, hey Nathan, I think your internet's better tonight than it ever has been at the nursing home.
I agree. We're gonna have to get me a hotspot because this is insane.
So again, Nathan didn't have internet here for the last couple of days, and because we knew he was coming on and doing this interview with Megan tonight, I actually took him over my personal iPad, to him for him to use hotspots for this interview. So you're welcome. You're welcome, viewers. You're welcome, fans.
Apparently, Alyssa.
Yeah. Apparently, you're not allowed to call her Alyssa anymore. It's straight up, yo, what's up, 18?
Okay, my apologies. I did not know that. So, is she gonna just get like a symbol then for her name? Like Prince or something like that.
We actually have got the 18 whenever we do our chats. We always use the 18.
Got you.
Her volley. Okay, so the story behind that is her volleyball number was 18, and she never used to pay attention. We were always looking for the number 18. So finally, I just go, 18. Will you just give them the damn lineup?
So, but then I'm gonna have to clarify because then if she pops up in the chat, I'm gonna have to say when I say 18, I'm gonna have to be like, no, there's not 18 people in the chat. That's just her name. So, Megan, we know you're good at Special Olympics and being a leader. Do you have any other like hidden talents that people might not know about?
No. Well, I mean, I like playing video games. I don't know.
So besides WWE 2K, what's your favorite video game?
Call of Duty.
Yeah, I never been good at those because I have poor hand dexterity, and I end up being cannon fodder for anybody that shoots me.
Yeah.
So, Tony and I might have a chance to go to a wrestling that I guarantee you that you haven't seen. It's interesting because it's called Combat Pro Wrestling.
Oh, nice.
And it actually takes place.
Nice to sing.
Really? You like to sing?
No, I sing terrible, so I don't know what she's talking about.
Hey, it doesn't matter if you don't sound good. If you like to sing, that's all that matters.
Alright.
But anyway, what makes Combat Pro Wrestling very interesting is they don't use a wrestling ring to wrestle in. They wrestle on a stage like a play.
Yeah.
So, side note on the singing, I also like to sing. I've actually tried out for America's Got Talent.
Oh, nice.
Once in person and twice online.
Oh, nice.
Well, the ones online went a little bit better than the ones in person.
Yeah.
Because I tried to do a U-turn when I was in the audition room with the producers.
Mm-hmm.
And the footrest for my wheelchair got caught on the laptop cord for the producer.
Oh, no.
And he said it was beautiful. Well, I thought he was talking about my singing. And I looked up and he's doing a Superman leap over the table to catch his laptop before it hits the ground. And so I looked down at him as he hit the ground and I went, well, I guess I didn't get the audition, did I? So, but it was still fun.
Yeah. Have you ever did sports for Special Olympics, Nathan? No.
Do I do sport? I do bowling.
You do bowling? Nice.
And I've done track before when I had the electric wheelchair.
Yeah.
I used to race the electric wheelchair. I had quite a few medals for the track before I had to stop for a while.
Nice. Did you go to USA games when it was in Seattle or no?
No, I've never gotten a chance to go to USA games.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in the process of trying to get an electric wheelchair again, and then once I do that, then I'm gonna go start doing track again.
Nice.
Yeah. The cool thing when I did track was there was only 2 wheelchairs when I did track.
Mm-hmm.
There was me and a guy named Brad Dooley.
Oh, wow.
And he was in a manual wheelchair.
Yeah.
And so the coach would have me make sure he got faster because she would have him race me around the track. And that got him faster because he had to keep up with me. So
right.
So, what's your highest score in bowling? Do you remember?
In bowling, I'm gonna say my highest score is like 132. That's not for Special Olympics, by the way. I also bowl in league on Wednesday nights, and that was my highest score for bowling in my league a few nights ago. So that was kind of cool. But at the top of my head for Special Olympics, I can't think of at the top of my head what my highest score was for bowling. Maybe like 110, 120, but
hey, that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
I do have to the day I die, I'll be apologizing to Tony for when we did regionals at the bowling alley. Considering the bowling alley that we were at, the lanes were incredibly small. And so to get my wheelchair, which is kind of a big manual wheelchair, onto the lanes, she had to literally lift up the back of my wheelchair and slide it over, and then push me up an extremely tiny ramp. And he had to do that for all 9 frames.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But Nathan, you sold yourself short on the singing thing. You did actually get to do one debut.
Oh yes,
and actually
yes,
sing live in front of people. In fact, it's Megan's competition in the summer league. You got to sing the national anthem for the Calais Black Bears.
Yes, I did.
Who also play the Walla Walla Sweets, which is where Megan's from.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing about that was, thank God Tony was behind me, because halfway through the song, my brain went completely blank for like 30 seconds. And I was fine until I saw how many people were in the crowd, and my brain just went, nope, I'm not being here right now. I'm just going to go away. But thankfully, Tony was right behind me, and he was like, you got this.
Yeah. This was at a Kelso game for
Yeah.
I can't even think what you guys' team is. Yeah.
It's
I get you were saying they were playing the Walla Walla Sweets.
Yeah.
I hope the Sweets won. Just kidding.
No, actually, I think the Black Bears won that one, if I remember right.
As you can tell, I am a Sweets fan, but gotta be Sweets fan. When I used to work there for I think 3 years, I worked at the Walla Walla Sweets, checking bags and scanning tickets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That had to have been fun.
It was fun because when we didn't get it was me and my boyfriend, he was actually one of my friends at the time, and then his best friend. We all 3 got a job there, and we would be able to watch like the games after we clocked out, because we were only clocked out like maybe clocked in for like 3 or 4 innings, and then we would be able to watch the game for free.
Well, at least you got to watch some of it. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I actually went there to that same ballpark. Like, I sang on the 14th, I believe, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was my birthday, or close to my birthday. And then a local Kelso country singer sang like 3 days later at the same place.
I'm trying to. I think I know who you're talking about, but because Stanley always talks about him, but I can't think of his name. Kurt Coconut, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew this because Stanley talks about him nonstop.
Yes, he does. But rightfully so. He's extremely talented. So.
Yeah. Listen, Mr. Kurt Coconut.
So, in fact, he's having a concert this June on the 24th in Kelso.
Oh, nice.
So, let's see. So, you said you did. What was the third sport you said you did? You said track, bowling, and
soccer, unified soccer. But I don't do soccer anymore because we don't have it in Walla Walla now, because when COVID hit, it was through the college and you had to get vaccinated in order to actually even be on the campus. So my stepmom's in the process of trying to see at some point that could get changed and that they could bring back the unified soccer team. But
I bet that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun, especially with having Leah as probably the best coach ever.
I don't deny that. I think Leah would be an amazing coach.
Yeah.
I know Tony coaches quite a few sports, or at least helps coach.
And co-run the leadership again.
Yes. You said that you led a leadership with Tony. I believe at some point this year I'll be helping co-teach a leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll never be as good as Megan.
Well, that's true. She did set the bar pretty high, but I'll try to get up there. So.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever? Oh, you took the health master training, so haven't you, Nathan?
No, not yet. But I'm thinking about it because for 3 years I worked as a cashier at a health food store.
Oh, nice. I don't know why I thought you took it. Maybe I thought it was because by your story at the ambassador training, I got a vibe kind of like I felt like maybe you had maybe taken it before, but I don't know why.
No,
that's the only.
I can
That's
see
the only
why
training
you
he
thought
hasn't.
that, but
Yeah.
but no, I am considering taking that when it's the next time it's offered. So
Yeah. Yeah, I took the health. I think the health master training was, well, the health master training was the first advanced training I ever took. But
yeah,
it's a fun training. I mean, the reason why I became a health messenger is fun fact. So before COVID, I actually was like during COVID, I actually had lost like over a little over 100 pounds. And that just kind of inspired me for as as an athlete. I was like, oh, maybe I should become a health messenger.
wow, congratulations on that. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, working in the health food store is kind of what keeps me interested in it, because,
Yeah.
when you work there as a cashier, even if you didn't want to learn the stuff about health food, you kind of had to.
Yeah.
The only problem is now I can't shut it off. So if somebody walks into my room at the frontier and says anything about like vitamins or anything, like that part of my brain kicks in, and for like 15 minutes they're hearing nothing about whether they're taking a vitamin or.
Yeah.
So, have you gotten a chance to do any ambassador stuff since we got done with the ambassador training?
Any ambassador stuff. I don't think I have. I did have the opportunity to speak at the Capitol Hill Day with Della, and a couple of months ago, and I think I can't October, November. I don't remember when they had it. It was kind of like a month or so ago, but a couple months ago. And I had the opportunity to go with her to DC for a couple of days to go speak at Capitol Hill at the White House, but I had to turn it down because unfortunately they were requiring a vaccine. I was like, absolutely not. But I was disappointed to turn it down because I thought it was a great opportunity. But then I was like thinking, I was like, maybe they should give it to another athlete that hadn't done it before, because I had actually done Capitol Hill Day when it was virtual when they did it the year before that over virtual. But
yeah, I kind of want to do something like that. Although, like Tony said, I have a tendency not to shut up at times, so I don't know if Capitol
yeah.
Hill or Olympia can handle that for a minute. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I know what Capitol Hill Day, the most difficult thing is like one of the meetings is always at like always at like 7 o'clock our time. It's like, seriously, why so early? Why do
Like,
you gotta be mean to be mean to our area?
it's like, seriously, that's when I'm sleeping. Not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to, as far as like the ambassador stuff for me, right after we finished, I had already had it set up to where I was gonna do like a like a health speech for the University of Washington
Oh, nice.
for like medical students and nursing
Nice.
students and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really fun because they had a lot of people from like even all around the world
All right.
that were in there. So.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to make it to the state ALC this week, depending on if they have the internet fixed or not at the Frontier.
Yeah, technically I'm supposed to be in on that because we have a state AOC. I'm also the AOC advisor for a local AOC, but I'm also in charge of joining the AOC, the state AOC meetings. But fortunately, I had to work, so I'm making my boyfriend join for me. I'm like, you know how to use Zoom? He's joining for me, so it doesn't look so it looks at least good on us.
She already knows how to work that system. Oh, if I can't make it, you're going to do it for me and just call it good on the other side.
Well, I mean, I live with him, so it's kind of good because he's not techie, so I'm kind of happy. It's kind of a plus because my stepmom would be able to help him log in the Zoom.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because he's not really techie. When he went to USA Games, I actually had to use my email when he had applied for USA Games. That was interesting when he got chosen. Because I saw mom email me, she goes, you guys just be one, you're getting a lot of emails. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. Oh, yeah. By the end of the year, I was like, I'm so over USA Games emails.
Yeah, I'm excited to one day go to a USA Games. I think that would be.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to go to the World Games, but I don't want to go to Russia.
But I don't think it's not in Russia this year. They changed it from Germany.
Yeah, it's in Germany.
That was the original plan, but they changed that because of all the wars and stuff going on over there. They changed it.
It's probably a smart idea.
Yeah, it was a safety reason. They probably realized that was probably the dumbest idea ever.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is in Munich. That's right. Oh, it is. Yeah. Yeah, I'd go to Germany.
Yeah, I can see you in Germany. Stop by Switzerland.
It'd probably be one of the only places I could go to escape you.
Yeah.
I
would honestly love to go to the USA Games in a couple of years, the 2016 one, and I think Minnesota, I think it is.
Oh, Minnesota, yeah.
Right.
I'll have to, you know what, I'm going to look that up to actually make sure I made that one. Because I remember them announcing it when I was at USA Games in Florida. They had announced who it was, but I believe it was Minnesota. Yeah.
Oh, and yes, Tony, I agree with you. This is the best my internet's been since I moved into the Frontier. So, once again, thank you. And it just proves that I need to get my own hotspot.
Oh, yeah, I am right. It is in Minnesota, the next USA Games.
Just don't get comfortable because I'm coming to get it tomorrow. Don't get comfortable with my iPad.
No, I won't. Much. No, but Minnesota would be a fun place to go, depending on the time of year that you would go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought Orlando was fun, but I honestly felt like they didn't maybe think about maybe the heat over in Orlando.
I can see that. I'm sure they passed out a lot of water, though.
Oh, yeah.
And thinking about, because honestly, I think about wrestling 90% of the time, just because that's how my brain works. Can you imagine the wrestlers that they can bring in that are from Minnesota for the USA Games over there?
Oh, no, I can't.
Well, you talked about Brock Lesnar a lot. He's originally from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Although I would be intimidated if I saw Brock Lesnar in person. I mean, the man has no neck.
Yeah. See, the thing is, what I like about Brock Lesnar is how he came when he came into WWE. He came in kind of knowing what to do because he was in the MMA Kind of like Rhea Ripley, I guess, actually. But
Yeah. I actually saw the WrestleMania. I was at the WrestleMania where he almost broke his neck.
Oh, wow.
When he did the shooting star press.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of scary to see in person.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard it in the background. I think Tony's actually listening to the live stream as it's happening, even though he thought
I was, but it's all good now because I forgot we can get our questions in here. Again, this is only like the second or third time we've actually used a StreamYard for interviews. Zoom got unreliable, so
yeah.
And then we found this, but
I like him, but not want to run into him.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one.
So, Alyssa, I want to do an announcement, but is it public knowledge yet?
She probably doesn't know what you're talking about.
Your man and I, what we discussed earlier, is that public knowledge yet?
Okay, now you got me curious. On what?
Hold on.
So, ask him. So, what are some of the friends you met on from Special Olympics?
Let's see. Stanley, obviously. I'm trying to think of someone else. Alyssa. I'm gonna say Alyssa now that I know she's watching.
Very smart move.
In case she tells Shane this, I will say Shane. Let's see. Tyler Guidebook. He took the ambassador training too. Garrett cracks me up, actually. Have you ever met Garrett?
I think once.
He cracks. He was hilarious when we went to the ambassador training.
Yeah, I think that's where I met him at.
Yeah. Who else have I met from Special Olympics as friends? I don't know. Calvin Antonia. I don't know if you know him.
I've heard that name.
He hangs out. I know he's friends with Stanley, but
well, we won't hold that against him.
Steven something. I know his last name. I think he's from you guys' area. Right. I think it's
Yep. Yeah, we know Steven.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
So Tony, did you? Oh, Alyssa just put another.
Who isn't friends with Stanley?
Well, she does have a point. So, did you get permission to make that announcement yet?
No, I don't know if he wants it public knowledge yet or not, but big news coming soon.
Now I'm really intrigued because when those two have big news, they're not lying. It is. Yeah.
Texas DJ.
I've gained so many friends from Special Olympics.
Yeah.
Text the TJ.
So, have you thought about doing any coaching at any point for Special Olympics?
Yeah, so that is actually honestly my goal when I maybe physically can't compete. Or I get to a point that I don't want to maybe compete anymore, which well, won't be anytime soon. But when I don't want to, when I physically can't compete, like look into maybe helping coach. But
Well, I honestly think you'd be very good at that.
yeah, I mean, even my stepmom thinks I'll be good at that. I mean, I even do a pre-registration when we do track. So I do actually all her registrations when we do track. Now it's all virtual, like all the registrations and stuff. She makes me do it for her because she's not techie. So she maybe did it last year for her. And I thought it was the most complicated thing. I got it figured out. And then she goes, oh, I guess she's covered this next one and forever now. I was like, Craig's, and she goes, nope, yours. I was like, no, I'm gonna make Craig do it next. And she goes, well, then I guess no one's going to stay. I was like, oh, good point, good point.
It's like on the job training.
Yeah.
That's funny that she already does paperwork. That's the only part of Special Olympics or my job that I do not do. I let Becky handle all the paperwork.
My stepmom is like, as the AHF, she's like the one that does not like to do meetings, which is why I actually became the athlete leadership council advisor. It's because she got tired of doing meetings. So then when I took the understand leadership training, I wanted to do that for my particulum, and Leah was all for me doing it. And my stepmom was like, "Yeah, take them." And she was like, "Yeah, take my job for that. I don't care." She goes, "That leaves me out of doing a meeting." But yeah,
It's like anytime you want to do it, I don't have to do it, then we're good to go.
Shane need the information to come listen.
Do you follow?
I have a big reading assignment. You're not my audience.
Just tell him to go on my face. He's friends with me on Facebook. He can slide it that way.
Yeah, because I don't think I can get the link like Zoom.
No, just go to my Facebook page and you should be able to go to the live stream and jump on that way. The first time bowling thing I went to a long time, they had me do the athlete's oath. Oath? Can't say that word.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah, I got asked to do that actually last year instead of originally going up on stage with Shane to do the awards thing, whatever, for the healthy athletes thing by Leah. But then I ended up not being able to do it because my team, we do not do opening ceremonies when we go to state. So I had to turn it down for that. And then she's like, oh, I have this opportunity for you. I was like, oh, I'll do that then.
There you go.
Yeah.
One of the times I wouldn't mind singing the national anthem for Special Olympics. I think that would be a little bit more fun for me.
Yeah.
The College Black Bears was a blast, but I think the Special Olympics one would mean a little bit more just because I'm involved in it. You know.
Mm-hmm. When did you get involved in leadership, Nathan?
Right after I met Tony, actually, which has been about about 2 years ago, almost 2 years.
Something like that.
Oh, so during COVID, when it went virtual, you got involved in trainings?
Yeah, because Tony was doing something on Zoom called the Men's Room Social, and he invited me to come on that, and so I did, and it was just Tony and Shane and a few
Yeah, was that
others.
the thing that Shane was kind of like hosted, whatever, and you guys invited other athletes? Yeah, I think I remember going to a few of them, maybe, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
a few of them.
So then I did that, and then Tony called me and he said, "Hey, you should think about doing the leadership thing." And I started at the our local ALC,
Mhm.
and then they nominated me to do the state one, and then taking the the leadership stuff with Leah was a blast because she makes it so easy to learn.
Oh yeah,
Um, but again, it just helped me like regain my confidence as far as like stepping out out there, right?
Mhm.
Like I've always been a good talker, but being able
Yeah,
to formulate my thoughts is kind of
yeah.
Here we go.
Did you know
Um,
so this is actually a movie that came out recently, actually of a Special Olympics team called Champions?
yes. Tony and I are actually gonna go see that this month. I think is that still the plan? At least I know we had talked about going to see it. Yeah, it's got Woody Harrelson in it, if I remember right.
Yeah, my stepmom, and this would be super cool, but my stepmom is actually looking and actually renting out like a theater for the night and inviting our whole entire team and then our local disability network and kind of making it kind of like a night for a team and disability network to go watch the movie. But she's still
Oh,
trying to figure out. Yeah, she's still trying to figure out though she's gonna do it because she has to figure out. She didn't want to pay to actually use our funding and the rent out a theater and then have 10 athletes come. So
right. If you're gonna do that, you want to make sure there's gonna be a good turnout.
yeah,
But the idea that's awesome.
yeah. I actually brought up the idea too, and she's like, I actually like that idea. I was like, yeah, I think it'd be like super fun, like for something to do, because we always, when we have ASC meetings, we always do something fun afterwards. So I had thought about told her that maybe we should merge. We should this month. I told her, I said after we do AOC meeting, we should after for AOC meeting much for a fun activity, we should go see the movie Champions. And she was like, and I told her about it, and she's like, oh, we should make that like a thing for the team. I was like, yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Actually, we should like invite like the entire team and see if the disability network wants to join.
Yeah, it's always nice when everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
We're actually starting on our ALC down here. Tony's wife Amber is actually starting a fitness club.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I thought about doing a walking club in my area, but I'm thinking of just doing that kind of down the road because I already have too much on my plate now, being the ALC advisor, and then being the person that does the ALC meetings and stuff. I'm hoping that maybe like in a couple of years that we could like in a year, so maybe my stepmom would be for it. But right now she's really not for starting one up in our area, but. I think it's because we have athletes that are not techie, so she knows that if they once they because in fact they have to put in like you have to do something online when you do or whatever to get prizes or whatever.
Got
So
it.
we have athletes that would not be able to like to actually do anything online. They'll figure out how to put it and do the stuff to get the prizes online. And so she knew that would lead me and her to do it, me or someone else to do it. And I was like, no, I don't feel like doing that. I was like, yeah, as much as it'd be fun, I feel like it's just not a good fit for our area.
Or maybe
So
it's like, go ahead, Tony.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've got a very special announcement. Joining us on YouTube live, Nathan, your next viewer, the Special Olympics own, Mr. DJ Shane. Welcome to the program, Shane. We miss you. We love you. Welcome back.
Yes, very much so. And in a future episode, we will be having DJ Shane as a guest on this podcast.
Ooh.
And possibly Alyssa too, although I haven't been confirmed whether that was.
If you get Shane's request was we have to interview 18.
Well, then there you go.
You keep forgetting to call her by her proper title, Mr. Noss.
My apology.
I'm gonna have to fire you as the host again. I'm gonna have to fire you as the host again, man.
You can't fire me. Trey's not there.
Read my title there, boy. Executive producer who holds a higher rank. I can fire your ass.
Well, that's true. He's got the leverage on me. I can't. And as far as calling Alyssa 18, I just have to get used to that. I only found out like when we got on the podcast. So.
Is that kind of what inspired you, Nathan, to do the kind of stuff like your own stream, your own podcast? Was kind of like after watching like when Shane did it.
Yeah, I did a podcast with another pro wrestler when I lived in my own house.
Oh, nice.
But it was Shane that told me that I had a voice for like doing this when we were doing like the men's room socials, which I have told him, and I'll say it again. Thank you so much for that, for giving me the confidence to.
Oh, it's supposed to go breaking news.
Oh, he's giving me permission now. Yay, cool. Okay, so next point. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, coming soon to a Zoom station near you, hopefully more than one time only, live with the very special DJ from Special Olympics Washington, DJ Shane. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He is bringing back the Radio.
Ooh, I like that idea. I wanted him to bring it back so badly.
I'm sorry to do an announcement.
Yeah, we're all excited about that one.
I wanted to make sure he's okay.
It's about time. I've only been begging him to bring this back for many, many months now. So I am glad to be a part of this. I am glad to help bring it back to you, the athletes that he loves.
And I'm actually excited because this will be my first time hearing the Soul Radio. So.
But hey, Shane, in case you didn't hear, Megan approves. So thank you very much.
Well, I think I even told him before that I wish he'd bring it back.
Yeah, you got Megan's stamp of approval. So. But yeah, I'll always be in Shane's debt for getting me more interested by saying that I had what it took to do this, you know. So and again, I think that idea with you guys going to see champions is one of the coolest ideas I've heard in a long time.
All right.
You know, I think it's really cool that you guys are going that far to possibly rent out like a whole theater just to like have a good time with your team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should do that too. But yeah, I think, in fact, you and I are gonna go see that here later on this month or something, Nathan.
Yeah,
when I get a day off from all my executive producer positions and actually working and coaching, you know, when I can actually take a day just to be Tony. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. My favorite part of the previews of that show is when the guy walks over to Woody Harrelson with a completely broken finger, and he's like, "Coach, I think I hurt my finger." So, is there anything coming up that your guys' ALC is doing that you might want to promote on the podcast?
Off the top of my head, no, because we're pretty new, so we haven't. We just started like a couple months ago, so we're still kind of like in the process of trying to like do like projects and all that stuff. But
Got you.
yeah, I mean, we are doing Cop on Top event in June, but
That sounds like it would be a blast. From everything that Colton told us at on the state ALC, that sounds like it would be really fun to go to and to be participated.
oh yeah. Yeah, so with Walla Walla, we even did it last year. We did a cop on top, but instead of calling it cop on top, we called it cop and fire on top because we had firefighters, and then we also had police officers come, and then we kind of had it made it to like kind of like a competition against different against each other.
That's awesome. I bet that was fun too, because usually police and firemen are pretty competitive. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty fun, and I think honestly, as far as I remember too, Walla Walla actually had topped everyone in Special Olympics Washington that had done that event last year had actually topped them. We have actually topped every single area that did it, raising the most money.
wow, congratulations! That's impressive, considering. So Tony, before we let Megan go, do you have any questions?
No questions, but hey, Nathan, your podcast is now on TV, man.
It's on TV.
Yeah.
Nice. I made it to TV. Wow.
Again, yeah. Go ahead.
I plateaued at 40.
So before we leave, let's promote Mr. Andrew next week.
Yes.
We've got Wesley
on the 19th of April.
And we've got a manager from the WCWC, Mr. Tubbs, sometime in April also.
Yes.
We'll have to get DJ Ray and DJ Shane scheduled for sometime in April or May. Let me make my announcement before you interrupt me, Nos.
My apologies.
And again, the breaking news coming out of retirement, breaking off the turntables, Mr. DJ Shane coming soon, SOA Radio.
I think you forgot to possibly promote the one that we're still waiting confirmation on, but you got a handshake deal on at the
Oh, yes. And hopefully here very, very soon, if he gets back with Mr. Nathan, we've got a very special interview with the CEO of Special Olympics Washington, Mr. David Wu.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
And notice I didn't do what I really wanted to do for that last name.
Is it an athlete that you were saying that you guys were that he had and that he was doing Andrew next week or something? Is he an athlete?
Yes, yeah. Andrew Young.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know Andrew too. He's cool.
Yeah, Andrew always makes me smile.
Same. He just has a personality I think to make everyone smile.
Well, I think that's why Leah made him the chief smile officer, right?
Yes.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So on that note, I want to say thank you, Megan, for being on. You've been awesome. And I promise you, if we ever get Alexa Bliss, John Cena, or Roman Reigns on here, you'll be the first one I get a hold of. So
Ooh.
maybe you can come back on and ask some questions.
And fans, please continue to like, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
Yes. And if you have any questions or ideas for guests, please don't hesitate to email me at Nostorius. That's NOSSTORIUS at yahoo.com and let me know.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you all for watching. Megan, it was wonderful catching up with you again. Nos, as always.
Yes.
Stay ugly.
Well, I can only do what I can do.
And also, make sure you don't go perfect for the WrestleMania weekend because I really want to see you in a dress in August.
And don't worry, Megan, if you're interested in that, I'm sure there'll be pictures. So.
There'll be plenty of pictures.
Bye.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Bye.
All right. And we're going to end the broadcast.